So, as some of you know, I really like to strength train. And a few times last year, I did some fitness challenges. They were shred challenges, so they were super intensive. There was lots of strength training, 5 times a week, cardio 6 times a week. There was a certain meal plan, and it was hard. It was really challenging. And then I signed up for some of the programs, and I've done some of the stuff, but I haven't followed it in the same way, and now I'm in another one. And so it was leg day yesterday, and it was day 5 of, a full week. And so I was doing these exercises to help build the quads and the hamstrings and, of course, the glutes, because that's always part of it. Everything is connected. And did the first couple of exercises, and then we were supposed to do something called a sissy squat. I didn't even know that this had a name, this thing. And I've seen this in videos, mobility videos, all over the place, and this is something that we should be able to comfortably do. I cannot do it right now, partly because my legs are so sore, but partly because I can't do it yet. So you were allowed to hold on something if you wanted to, but essentially you start on your toes, and then you just bend down, 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 down. And you're supposed to be able to go all the way down without falling, like down on your knees, and then come all the way back up, 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 right? Well, I had just done 2 or 3 intensive quad exercises, and my legs were just jelly. Like I had quad wobble. I don't know if anyone does anything, bikes or whatever, that would give you that, like, oh, I can barely walk. And my legs were like, nope. Like, we're not doing this. This is not happening. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. It's like my body is not listening to what I want it to do. And so I had to force myself to like lean back as she's talking in the video, lean back, lean back, lean back. And I thought, I'm gonna put a mat down because I'm gonna fall. Like, I'm not gonna be able to, have the strength to be able to do this all the way down. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And then to try and get back up was even more painful and even harder. And so I was in tears after the first rep. But I got myself, pushed myself back up, and then just kept trying and trying, crying the whole time. My legs are just burning. It was so hard. But this is part of growth, right? Like when muscle fibers tear, it's because they are being pushed beyond what their capacity is, beyond their limit, and then they heal bigger, and that means we're stronger, right? That's part of growth. And I've talked about this many, many times and correlated it with our spiritual growth. So fast forward about an hour after this excruciating experience, Glenn and I sat in on our monthly Abundant Good journey with this community that we've been a part of for, 2.5, almost 3 years. And Dr. Joselito, whose quote it was at the beginning in meditation, was talking about the hero's journey. And he's talking about the hero's journey and all the different steps along the way, and how there are a couple of times at least during the hero's journey where life can feel hard. There's the resistance in the beginning to I'm feeling called to do something. There's a shift that's happening, but I don't know, the second guessing, the doubts and whatever, I'm not sure if I have it in me, whatever I need, blah, blah, blah. And then you make the decision, you're going, and then there's some good part. I discovered I'm really good at the adventure part, where stuff is just flowing, and all the people are coming, and all the money, and the time, and imagination, creativity. And then as things are flowing and you're moving into this expanded experience of life and being and experiencing new things that you've never experienced, then the challenges come. Then the obstacles show up. And that's where a lot of times we can get derailed because, oh my God, this is too hard. And so as he's talking about this and as we're writing our answers down to the questions that the prompts that he's giving us, I'm thinking back to when I had my bakery and all the stuff that I went through with the bakery. And now that is not the only thing where there has just been epic amounts of resilience that have just been drawn from wherever sort of thing. But it's still kind of the number one for me because it was just such a huge, huge deal in my life and impacted every single aspect of my life during, and still there's impact. And we closed that bakery 14 years ago at this point, I think. And so I'm thinking about how, we're not always aware of how incredibly resilient we are. We're not always aware of how incredibly powerful we are until we're going through it. And even when we're going through it and we're thinking, I can't, there's no way, I don't have it in me, I don't have the energy, the strength, the stamina, whatever anymore. I mean, anyone who's given birth, natural childbirth, maybe you have an idea. I remember what that was like. But you have to keep going, right? Because there is something in you that is being called. I mean, when you're having a baby, you're having a baby. There's it's coming out kind of thing, right? But in life, when there is something that is calling you, when there is a call on your heart, on your soul, this is spirit, this is love, this is God, this is source moving through you to be expressed more fully, more wholly in the world. And if we keep getting in the way, then that's partly when those obstacles and challenges show up. And so the obstacle and challenge really, some of the time, is us, with our fears, with our doubts, with, I don't know if I have it in me to do this. I don't know if I have it in me to take one more step. I think I'm gonna die. And so I was thinking, what is it that we can do in these times, when we're not sure, when we just don't have it in it, we think we don't have it in us, and there's nothing around us that can really help us or affirm that, yes, you have it in you, whether it is a loved one, whether it is a group of friends, whether it is some kind of practice you have, but when you're really, really in it. Well, there was something that came across on my Instagram feed a couple of days ago, and it actually is an AI thing, but I really like it. And it's called Master Lesia, and it is this monk on a mountaintop, that looks very, very peaceful, and I don't know who's behind it, but I just really appreciate and value a lot of the lessons that this AI monk offers. And so he was saying in this one little thing that came up a few days ago, there is something you are carrying that was never yours to carry. It came through a situation, a person, a phase of life, and it stayed. What remains without being consciously released continues to weigh on you, even when you try to ignore that it is there. And so what this made me think of is, how often do we go through life with these fears and these doubts and these concerns and these I don't knows and I can'ts without even realizing that we're carrying them? But they're there, and then that's what gets in the way of us actually moving forward on that hero's journey, of taking the next step, of having the faith, of trusting that whatever it is that I require, whatever it is that needs to show up, even if it's the path itself, that I have it in me to take that next step and be fully supported along the way. And so what he's offering here, and I would like everyone to give this a try, is to put your left hand on your heart. And I actually did this because it felt really good, because I was lying down when I did it. To put your left hand on your heart, and then maybe close your eyes if you want. And I'm going to offer the statement first, and then feel free to say it along in your head. I'll do it again, and we can say it together. So hand on heart, really tuning into the heart. I release what is not mine to carry. What remained unresolved, I surrender now. I keep only what is mine, and what is mine is light. And then you take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, move your hand away from your heart and let go. So let's try that again. So hand on heart, I'll give you the first phrase. I release what is not mine to carry. I release what is not mine to carry. What remained unresolved, I surrender now. What remains unresolved, I surrender now. I keep only what is mine. I keep only what is mine. And what is mine is light. And what is mine is light. And now breathing in. And as you breathe out, release your hand from your heart. Did that feel good for anyone? Yeah, the first time I did it, I felt like I physically removed something from myself. And initially, I was going to bring this to you and change the word light for love. But then I'm like, no, this is great. Because light is synonymous with love, but there's also light in terms of weight, right? And all of a sudden, you're not carrying something so heavy anymore. You're not carrying it at all anymore. And there's this lightness to you that wasn't necessarily there. And this lightness, because you are experiencing more of this lightness of being, this lightness is also something that can then illuminate the path before you. So that as you come upon these obstacles that maybe up until this moment, you were carrying this heavy load of, I don't know, I can't do it, second guessing, the doubts, the fears, whatever, you can release it. And that releasing not only gets rid of it, but then opens up whatever it is that is before you. And I just thought this was so beautiful. And then it took me back to these sissy squats that I was doing. And I thought, I intuitively knew to put down a mat because I knew that I didn't have the strength. But the reason I knew to put down the mat was because I've been doing strength training long enough and I know what my body has the capacity for and what it can handle in the moment. And that in and of itself is part of the success, right? Because in the hero's journey, which we are all on, and yesterday we talked about how we're on many hero's journeys at any given moment because we all have all of these different aspects of life that we're living or paying attention to. But as we move along the hero's journey, that's the success. The commitment to taking the next step and the next and the next and the next. That is success after success after success. Eventually, you will get to wherever it is that you're meant to be going, whatever it is that you're supposed to experience. But that's not the actual success. The success is the journey itself and the way that you navigate that journey and just trust and have faith that there is that in you that is so much bigger and more powerful and creative than anything you have ever experienced, including the thoughts that you are thinking, that you have it in you to continue moving forward. And so the title of my talk today is The Hero's Journey, Preparation, Not Punishment. Because every single obstacle we come across, every single challenge we overcome is strengthening us. It's like those muscles of mine ripping in pain yesterday, and then in 2 days, they're not going to be sore anymore, but you know what? I'm going to be able to go down lower next time. And eventually, the more I keep practicing it, I'm going to be able to do that exercise all the way through anyway. But the success is not just in being able to do the sissy squat. It is every single step I take to get closer to that outcome. That's where my success lies. And so, in the end, we're all at different junctures on many heroes' journeys at any given moment. And even though there may be resistance and challenges along the way, these experiences are not punishment. They are preparation for the rest of the journey. When we allow ourselves to stop carrying the weight of doubt, of fear, of I can't, not only do we lighten our load, but we allow ourselves to illuminate the path before us. Thank you, and so it is.